going to be in touch with them. You can shut down my Instagram, you can shut down Facebook, Twitter, whatever. We got emails, and it's a great way to reach out to them. And a lot of these email service providers even now have text message. Obviously, they have to opt in, but everybody checks their text message, because even emails, sometimes people aren't even checking now. But it's huge. And as you go on with the mini sessions, if you start getting successful, usually you're going to see that the people that did your mini sessions this year, it kind of becomes a tradition for them. We see it where families come back, like they look forward to coming to do the mini session. You want to cater to them, you know, because the name of the game is fill your calendar. So we'll send email blasts to those clients first and say, hey, we're going live in 5 days, but as a faithful, you know, Studio by Lala client, here's the link, book, so you get exclusive time slots, you get, you know, email marketing has been huge for us. And like I said, I would recommend that in a heartbeat. Next thing, once you've marketed, once you know you've got your setup, you got a little flyer, you're promoting, for the booking and the payment, try to go as automated as possible. I use Acuity, tied in with Square. I set the day that I'm going to do my mini session. I set up the blocks that I want, and then I let clients go in and book it themselves. So that pretty much, it's because as you grow, the volume's going to grow. You're going to get a lot of demand. The second when we first started, I didn't have it automated, I would get 30 emails in a day, and it's hard. And the name of again, you want to catch them while they're hot. They saw it, they want to book it. So have an automated booking system. Yeah.
Does Pixie have that integrated into their?
I believe it does.
I think they do.
I think it does.
I have not.
We used to use before Square, so.
Yeah, we actually just switched to Pixie about 2 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
We were with Zenfolio before.
Zenfolio, we used to. Yeah.
And that's, I guess, on me.
I still use Zenfolio.
Yeah, we do have Zenfolio for some, but if something's working for me, I try not to tweak it too much. My CRM, I use Tave. Tave also now came out with, well, now VSCO. They came out with their own booking thing. I tried it once. It was kind of glitchy, so I said, you know what, Acuity and Square.
¿Usas alguna plataforma para organizarte en lo que es la parte financiera? O sea, algo específico para eso, para estar un poco más organizado.
Acuity.
No, the finances.
Para mini sessions, Acuity.
No, Acuity is just a book. So the question was, do I use any like a finance tool? That's where Tave now, they just was in the last week went to VSCO. That's the best.
Yo, mi cabeza es el mismo.
Oh, no, yo te voy a dar lo que
Yo
vamos a
uso
usar.
Pixie Set, es
Ajá.
lo único que uso, pero...
But Pixie Set tiene una forma donde tú puedes mandar invoices and you have everything. ¿Sí lo usas ahí también? Okay.
Pero lo que es los gastos, la entrada, no tengo nada, solo libreta.
No.
Tave,
You're going to
VSCO.
start using VSCO.
The VSCO is a great tool. They're great.
Do you have your...
Yeah, I've gone through a bunch. I've gone through Honey, VSCO. VSCO is very good. So I can share that with you later. But you want a retainer, deposit, however you want to call it, collect something, okay? Because you want to fill them. If you don't, go ahead.
Don't do a $50 deposit. You know why? Because for $50, people are not going to go to your photo session.
They're willing to walk out. They're willing to lose out on it. So
either do half or we do $100.
Yeah, we do $100.
Just because the day of I'm taking the photo sessions, I feel like I'm making a lot of money, so that it's better for me.
You want to eliminate no-shows, and that's just true what she's saying. If you set a too low of a deposit, or you want to go with an honor system, you're going to end up sitting that day staring at the roof. So collect one, make it very clear, non-refundable, and your clients will come. They'll be there, okay?
Do you collect the balance
the day of the session? Yeah. The day of the session, we collect
Okay,
after session.
No, but we sent an email before that it says that you have to pay that day.
Well, again, through Acuity, they have an option.
Yes.
Because they get they got a reminder, hey, you got your session tomorrow, do you want to pay it off now? Or they could do it the day of. But yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On scheduling, because I know that you run 20 minutes.
Yes.
Right.
Do you do 20, give yourself a 10-minute buffer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I go into a little bit on
Because
tips.
I know my people, and Miami time is different.
Yes.
I used to get greedy on mini sessions, and as you could tell, I have a lot of energy. So I could take probably maybe like, we had one day 30 clients. I'm not kidding you, just by myself. But I didn't have those 10 minutes window.
Right.
And I'm not gonna tell you how it went because
It was a disaster.
it was a disaster. So after that, I learned my lesson, and that's another of the big mistakes that I made. Don't ever do that. Take your time, so 10 minutes. And then if that, just think that day you're gonna work a lot. For example, something I do has worked wonders for me and my clients. If I have a family that comes to a photo session at 9 o'clock, and I usually ask my clients, do you have a family, you have kids? How old are your babies? No, the babies are, I don't know, 2. Okay, so what's the best time for your baby? You don't want to do a mini session of a 2-year-old.
No, but they're booking themselves. That's
correct.
just a regular session more.
At a mini session, I usually ask to
They book it themselves.
maybe, but I ask on Instagram sometimes.
Yeah, you recommend if they ask you, but
On
again,
Instagram. So this is something that you could ask your clients when they're booking a mini session, depending how they're doing their booking. Okay, so what Daniel was saying, if they book themselves, that's fine. But if you guys are going to do it manually and you're going to ask for those questions, you could avoid the nap time that they have in the daycare for those kids. If not, what I've done in the past is that I saved myself a period of time for people that haven't been able to take their photos because the baby was crying. So for 5 to 6 in the afternoon, I have a window that, for example, I wasn't able to take a couple of pictures of this family. I'll tell them, put the baby to bed, give them some milk, and bring the baby around 5 o'clock. And that's usually what I do. It has worked great for me, and my clients are all usually happy.
¿Y qué haces si el cliente tú pones una hora y el cliente te llega tarde? Lo que te llegó tarde se consume de la sesión.
Sí.
yeah. So the question is if a client arrives late, and now it kind of throws off your schedule. So that's happened. So the way I have it set up now, we do have that 10-minute buffer at the end. So they're 20-minute sessions, but I book in 30-minute increments. In our emails that go out, I always tell clients to come 10 minutes early. So I try to play with that. So what we try to do is, if our first mini session scheduled for 9 o'clock, we're trying to get that first one in at 8:50. If they're at 8:50, go. Because even if you finish, you start adding gaps, and you start getting room to wiggle people around. And that's helped us, because when you get that gap, maybe the following one gets there before let's say you're 10 o'clock's late, you're 10:30, now you can flip them, So in rare occasions, the first one is late, but if you can get the second one, and try to swap them around. But the key is having a buffer. Don't go back to back. We've done it, and
So,
it doesn't work.
What I've done in the past myself is that because I have that time extra that I save on my calendar for that, I told them, hey, listen, you're a little late, but if you come at 5 o'clock, I could finish your session at no cost. You didn't lose your deposit.
Yeah.
So you're actually accommodating your client because they got there late. Emergencies could happen. I mean, maybe they got their hair and makeup done and the makeup artist was running late and it's not their client's fault. And then you hear them boys sometimes. I just don't like to, if my other client is on time, I don't like to penalize my other client that it was on time because of the client that it's not on time. So I always give my clients that time that I save myself for that. You always have to, on a marathon mini sessions, you always have to have that buffer time that I don't save time for lunch, but I know that all of my photographers, they have like half an hour for lunch because they like to eat while they're taking photos. I don't.
Normalmente lo que yo he aprendido a los cabezazos, porque es la primera vez que yo tomo como una clase de este tipo, yo siempre dejaba 15 minutos o 20 minutos de gap.
Yeah.
Right.
Porque la primera vez me pasó y se me corrieron todo y la gente esperando.
Yeah.
So, a partir de ahora yo dejo 20 minutos de como ese gap.
Yeah,
Siempre
that gap is
déjalo.
critical. And like she was saying, if your last session is booked for 5, be mentally prepared that you might go later. Because if one of those, just tell the client, hey, unfortunately, I can't throw off the schedule, but come back at 5:30, we'll get you in. You try to work with them, but there's ways around it without saying no or without penalizing again. Because we all want everybody to be happy.
You were gonna ask something?
Yeah, do you have an alarm or set or say, okay, just for now, it's 20 minutes and that's it?
Okay, so Yes and no. Do you know who's your alarm? Your next client. Your next client is your alarm, but we usually have our assistant helping. So our assistant, I know, I understand. When you're by yourself,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it, so I
when
said,
you're by
"Can't
yourself,
make sure you,
got it.
Your phone, a little
Yes.
timer.
You could,
Yeah.
no, but you could set a timer, but it comes to, I don't know how to, you're gonna have it in you. Once you start doing this, you know when your time, because you're gonna have your photos. You're gonna have your list of the photos that you want to deliver to that client, and once you're done, you're done. Oh, that's something else that we put in our time. We put,
is it possible that you finish before?
I've done pictures super fast. I,
Back in there and say, get out.
yes, there's when the up to, it's so magical. You don't put 30 minutes, because, and that we learned because I had an incident with one of our clients. She's like, no, but I have an hour, and you've done, it still hasn't happened. The hour is not over. So I'm like, you're right. I'm gonna start taking photos, a lot of more photos for you because you have an hour. That was in a regular session, but I learned my lesson that at least for Studio Bailar, at least for me, is up to. That covers me and has helped me in the past.
Ya.
Dime, claro, mi amor, todo lo que tú quieras.
Yo pregunto mucho.
Sí.
Normalmente para ese tipo de sesiones, ¿hacen un esquema de iluminación fijo?
Yes, we're gonna talk about it now.
So the question, we have fixed lighting for
Oh,
that,
yeah,
and
we
yes,
don't
and
know.
it all goes back. I forgot who asked if
And
we
I'm
have
gonna
different
talk
sets.
about- yes.
At the end
no.
of the, to kind of tease it, it all goes down to editing.
Yes.
So at all, post-processing, that's where it comes down to. So, second half of the blueprint here. For session day, a lot of stuff we've kind of answered already. So, tight rotation, keep set consistent, no major changes. So no set changes, no lighting changes. This goes more if you're in studio and you're using lights. If you're at an outdoor location, obviously can't control the sun, shadows are gonna move. So you might have to tweak your set around. We've been out in parks, like she said, we own an old vintage VW Beetle, and we've used it a lot. And the VW started over here, and then we've had to start moving it along,
Right.
with the sun. So, but for the most part, yeah, you want to have fixed lighting and one set. You don't want to change things around too much, which will lead kind of to number 6, your post-session workflow. You want to call and edit quickly. Part of the deal with the mini sessions is that since they're smaller amount, you're going to get your photos faster. Okay. Since you're all on the same set, you're all with the same lighting, you can kind of make a pre-made preset that will get the foundation for most of your photos, and then you can do slight tweaks here and there. That is a big lifesaver when you do mini sessions because you want to be efficient.
I don't edit a mini session with Photoshop. It's not on my book. It's
Yeah.
a simple edit. So my BFF is Iboto. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Iboto or Lightroom, which is, everybody knows Lightroom. But I make it as simple. The light is simple. They don't really care about lighting on a mini session. They care about those little moments that you're going to deliver, and that's what you have to give the client. So, una luz, la luz ready, and you're good to go. Depende. It depends. Yes.
When do you schedule Christmas?
We are scheduling Christmas
We
sessions
were
as
actually
we
rolled
speak.
out today. We rolled out today.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my fault.
Yeah. Again, there's different. I've seen different marketing strategies. I've seen clients that do Christmas and July specials. If they know the idea, they might have a mock-up, and they might tease something. We normally don't. I mean, we try to wait a little bit. So yeah, usually now, late August is when we start our Christmas campaign. We do weekends.
Weekends, yeah.
Yeah,
Saturdays
we do weekends.
and
It's
Sundays.
more convenient to the for clients and for the family. So we try to always do Saturdays or Sundays.
I'm a big believer. I don't like to book mini sessions before September. We usually start September 9th. That's our date to book a mini session. And I honestly think that when you're in the summer, a mini session is not going to sell as much, and it has happened in the past. But again, I was reading the crowd that we have going on, and I would say that all the photographers around Miami are they're showing their mini sessions. So I've gotten peer pressure from my clients, and that's why we started today. But that's not something that we usually do. So, and then to your question, there's dates that I do my marketing, which is Tuesdays for some reason, and Wednesdays is better in Instagram, and then that's what I talk and I do, you know, but I haven't really started hard, but in September 9th, it's Christmas at Studio by Lala, like for full Christmas. We do.
We do, but
we do.
there's nothing like the holiday minis. Well, however you want to phrase it, Christmas minis, holiday minis, there's nothing like that. That they fly. That's what people wait for. So, yeah.
Question. Mini sessions, quick cash, promote your presence in the community and allows them to take advantage of the special holidays. However, have you seen that the clients that hire you for mini sessions come back to you for regular?
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
The majority of the
worked
time.
out.
It's worked out. It's worked out, and then kind of was number 8 was our client retention. Once we're done, again with the CRM that I use, I can see if it's a new client, old client. I invite them to come back. I'll give a 10% discount and say, hey, you know, thank you for giving us a try. We'd love for you to come back and do a regular session with us, whether family. Think of us if for a maternity, birthday, you know. But yeah, it's. And it kind of what I said in the beginning, it's a great way for somebody that might have been on the fence to come into your studio to get them in. And we've definitely grown our clientele because of mini sessions. Yeah.
So what is your turnaround time? How quickly do you turn them around and share the gatherings with your clients?
Within a week, we try.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to do a week because we have kids as well, and depending on the season. But I like to usually the seasons like Easter, you know, you want to enjoy with the kids as well, and then you're editing. It takes time from being with your family, and so
Yeah.
within
Usually a week has been pretty good. It's worked out for us.
You wanted to
Yeah.
ask him.
Exactly what are you delivering to your clients? How are you delivering the photographs? And what's their package? Are you delivering strictly on-screen images?
With the ability to download the high resolution.
A USB?
It's online gallery with the
Downloads?
yep, download,
Right.
watermark free, high resolution, and those are theirs. Yeah. Yep. 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 It was Pixie set. Yep. Yep. And then yeah, go ahead.
But that's, you have like set packages for that.
Right.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one package. One package we roll out and
It's a 195 is the session fee.
Right.
And then the add-on is
correct.
A, B, or C, or.
Yeah,
Right.
but the add-ons will do a la carte. Like they'll come to us and say, you know, or I'll send an
Right.
email. Once we deliver the gallery, then I'll throw in there, if you want an album with all your photos, this is that, this, you know. But we do one package per set, and they're fixed. Now the price point varies. Like for example, usually the ones that are done in our studio, we start at $195. We've been doing this for so long. We've got props and backdrops and things for it that we can run a mini session without really having to invest too much into extras. Then we have others like we saw in the other. We've had mini sessions that end up being 300, 400, depending on what it is. We've done some at farms, like she said, where we've had
Right.
horses.
And I'm
Yeah.
No,
So
go ahead. That's
our
why
price
you're
point
here. That's why
varies
you're here.
on what we're offering. You know.
Si hay un cliente que quiere hacerse las mini sessions, pero quiere un poco más de tiempo,
Okay. Oh yeah, we do that too.
Yeah.
¿lo haces? O
Sí.
sea, ¿le cobras un poco más? ¿Ofreces
Depends.
otro precio?
Depends.
2 horas?
The two sessions.
They have to get another session.
Yeah, the question is if there's a client that wants more time or it's bigger than 6, because we cut ours off at 6 people max. Sometimes the whole family, we tell them you got to go in and book 2 time slots, and that's yours.
And that's yours.
And a lot of clients do that.
Pero no en
Hmm?
no en el precio.
That will be a total of $400.
Yeah, they pay
pretty
two.
much
They
because they
pay
have
two.
to pay 2.
Yeah.
And you have to think that day you're gonna help your client, but you have to help yourself.
Yeah.
So that day is for you.
The
'Cause
name of the
you're-
game is marathon. If I
Right.
see there's a client that wants to do photos of a family and they're 12, I'm going to try to offer a family pack. I say, look, the marathon might not be best for you. You know,
Do a family.
do a
package.
family session. Let's get you an hour, a full hour. You know, so you're not rushed. You got time.
Right.
And we, you know, usually it ends up working that way. So
So, for example, for Christmas mini session, when would be the last day that you offer mini sessions?
good one. For Christmas, December 13th. Usually it's my cutout. Because it gives me, I worked until December 23rd. I don't work the 24th. So it gives me 10 days to whatever I had to deliver it's, you know, I'll be able to turn everything in. I hate to say that I'm going to do something and not do it, especially to a client. If I tell you I'm going to turn in my photos, Lala's not going to sleep that night, but I'm going to turn in my work because that's who I am. But I have to give myself some time because otherwise it's not.
And to piggyback on that, like was with the next one, you know, we try to deliver quick so then we can offer upsells. Those clients, when we start, because right now most of the mini sessions we've opened for the holidays are in November, so it gives us time. As those fill up and clients keep coming, we'll start opening other dates. We try not to pass December 13th, like she said, so that they can have them at least for the holidays. But those that are already peaking into December, I start letting them know you can order products, but they're not guaranteed to be there before the holidays. So, you'll get your digitals, but the product part, the upsell gets a little more difficult because, you know, just time constraints.
We're talking about a lot about Christmas because that's usually that, you know.
That's the big boy.
That's the big boy. But for example, we do Halloween as well. So what have worked for me in Halloween is I have a bunch of girls that are my friends, and I get them, I tell them, you have to dress up like this and come to the studio and I'll take a photo of you. So I post that. Those are the photos that you've seen in my Instagram with like smoke, and then I have the pink pumpkin one time, and then I have the wishes one time that we did, and then, you know, we go all crazy for Halloween, and people see it, people are gonna buy it. But usually mini sessions are catered more for kids, and usually they want to do, you know, the photos for babies, their first Halloween, their first fall pictures. Fall, you think you could use the Berry Farm here in Miami, which is beautiful for fall. He wanted to ask something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, sorry.
Okay. So yeah, the upsell, like we were mentioning, and then client retention, going back to that email list. Definitely want to have your email subscription list. You know, what I like to do, like I said, if it's a new client, maybe throw them a discount to get them in as a new, you know, as a repeat client. And I always kind of like to tease our next mini session. You know, keep them on the hook. And I always tell them, you know, thank you for joining us for holidays. Be on the lookout, we're going to be doing Valentine's, you know, or be on the lookout, we're going to be doing Easter after Valentine's. So I kind of like to tease the next one, and it keeps them engaged. You know, it's going to keep them on your social medias, and it could be, you know, a potential repeat. So All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit more about scaling without burnout. And because the mini sessions, again, they are, and a lot of stuff we've covered already through questions, but you want to go through some of these, or?
So when it says use the props that you already owned for the vision that you have, I highly suggest for you guys not to go too expensive with the prop as well, because otherwise you're cutting from your profit. So I have a friend of mine, I'm not going to say her name, and she's an amazing photographer here in Florida, and she was selling a prop that I really, really wanted to get off of her. And when I asked her for the price, she goes, no, it's $3,000. And I'm like, but is that really? She goes, no, I went crazy with it. That's a prop that you don't want to buy for a mini session. You have to be realistic. For the price that you're doing, go to TJ Maxx, go to Walmart. Walmart has beautiful Christmas trees, by the way. Go to Hobby Lobby. They have sales. Catch the sales that they have going on for that week. So you actually make more money on that. The deposits are not refundable, and that's something that we don't. You missed your day, your photo session, we don't give you your $100 back. We're very sorry, but you've signed a contract. Every mini session that comes into our studio signs a contract. That is what you're going to have for your benefit. Leave the 10 minutes buffer. I usually like to leave an hour after, just in case. If everything went perfect, then I go home early. If not, then I know that I'm finishing that day until 6 p.m., not until 5.
Yeah, we pretty much covered a
The
lot of these
lighting,
good
yeah,
questions.
my lighting is usually I use, okay, so depending on the lighting, for mini sessions I like to use my alien light, okay?
Alien B.
The alien B light. I'll show you. It's the one, yeah, it's one that it's que se usa mucho para los newborns as well. Yeah, la grande. So with that light, it covers, and our umbrella that we have in the studio, it's one of the biggest. So my light is pretty perfect. So I don't go on an adventure for a mini session to do nothing crazy with lights. I just go very simple, very soft light. Everybody's happy, their faces are beautiful. I'm a happy photographer, and that's it.
What about when you have like a session, free session, 2, 3 people, and then you have 6 people?
Okay. So there's where some props that you're gonna use are gonna be helpful for
The
and
lighting.
lighting. Same thing, same light. And your BFF is going to be your reflector. Oh, that's my boyfriend. He's my husband, but that's my boyfriend. Okay,
Alright.
so
And yeah,
okay, and the presets. So depending on the color palette, I usually do a set of presets. And the reason why, because in the past, I've turned in some galleries that I've used colors that I want to show in social media. So people will say, oh my God, those pictures are beautiful. But then the client comes and say, oh, those are not natural colors. Can I please get those natural colors? So what I've done in the past, I do natural colors for everybody. Here's your beautiful pictures. And then if I love that session and they came dressed like I asked for, so I do crazy colors, and then that's for me. But I have one preset for those mini sessions ready to go. So that's it. I do my own presets, yeah. I do my own presets.
Yeah, we like to create our own. I mean, we've got a few basic ones that we've purchased, but we like to tweak ours and then save it, and that's what we.
Yeah, I do my own
You
presets.
sell those, don't you?
Not yet, but I should.
Yeah. But yeah, and then the last one, keeping track of repeat. Again, we kind of covered that. You guys have actually had really good questions that covered a lot of this stuff. Building client loyalty. One of the things that I would recommend, and again, obviously we've been emphasizing a lot on holidays, because that is the moneymaker. That's the big boy. But like you saw on the calendar a few slides, when we first started, you could do mini sessions year round. They might not be as hot as the holidays, but you technically can do mini sessions year round. There's always a theme, there's always a holiday, there's always something. In summer, she said sometimes the kids are out, but we've had back to school mini sessions. Put a little school bus backdrop or a pencil, an apple, and they'll go ahead and come for back to school mini sessions. So I would recommend, if possible, try to do 4 themes a year. If you could do it on a quarter by quarter basis, it's great. It's a great way to kind of have an extra revenue stream coming in besides your regular packages. So get creative, and the good thing about those other ones is most photographers are focused on the holidays, on fall, on Q4, October to December, everybody's jumping on them. But not a lot of people want to do Valentine's, so it's less saturated. There's a lot more potential for you to stand out, and again, bring in a new client. Maybe somebody did want a Valentine's mini, and the photographer they're usually following is like, oh, they're not offering it. Hey, but I heard Studio by Lala is, or whoever, and it's a great opportunity. So if you could try to get 4 a year, spread them out. It's a great opportunity to have steady income. So, and actually, I'm going to jump into that here. So, this is now taking that first slide where it's covering a 2-hour or a 1-day. I'm looking at, again, very basic, simple, on an annual. Let's say you do 4 campaigns in the year, and you do 12 sessions each campaign. That's a total of 48 clients. And again, and I'm going to be honest with you, once you get the ball rolling and the handle of it,
It's very easy.
it's easy to go way past this. But this is just, again, to start off. You're looking at 48 clients. Let's say your average cost per session is $225. That's an extra $10,800 in revenue that you're making. Again, obviously you got your costs aside, but it's a great source to tap into sales that might not be part of your normal packages. Yep.
Normalmente cuando hacen las campañas, ¿las hacen pagas o no pagas?
To be honest with you, mini sessions I don't pay for. My
Yeah.
campaigns I pay for quinces. So far, I'm paying for quinces campaign, and I'm paying for newborns. No, maternities.
Maternities
we have.
and quinces.
No, maternities. Because newborns we get because
Yeah.
we already got the maternity in the studio.
Yeah, the question was if we pay for our campaigns to
Right.
marketing. And we don't, but again, a lot of that has to do with your following too. If you're
Right.
just starting out, yeah.
No,
So,
but,
if you're starting out and you don't have a big following, you might want to boost a few,
Yeah.
do a paid campaign. I'm a nerd with algorithms, and I love looking into that. What I've read and what I've seen is when you hit usually the 1,000 to 2,000 mark in followers, you can start going more organic. Anything under 1,000, you might have to, dish out a little to pay for an ad, but.
Te da followers, te da.
Yeah, but absolutely. You get followers and stuff like that. So, but yeah. So you see an extra time, and that's not adding again the upsell potential. If you get them out quick, you get the clients that email. In that email, you got to have a call to action. If anybody is an SEO website nerd, I'm a big on call to action. Tell them what to do next. Here's your gallery. Thank you for coming. By the way, did you know an album, prints, this, that. It's a great way to bump up this number even higher. So they've got their final product. Hopefully they're in love with it. Now they want to showcase it. So go for the upsell.
Se puede vivir de la fotografía literal.
sí.
En este tiempo ahora
Sí.
no se dice nada.
Nosotros vendimos, we sold one time a total of 350 mini sessions just for Christmas. You could live off photography. And
Yeah.
that's something that people tell me. I went to school for mental health. Everyone in my family is a doctor. I am not. I'm the only one who's not. My husband quit his job, his full-time job, to come work with the studio. You just have to do it.
Yeah, the question was, do we think that photography is still something that you can make a living off of? And I believe it is. I mean, and like she said, you're looking at someone that has her master's in mental health. I used to work for the government. And it all started back to, she was like her side hustle. And I said, do it.
And there's a big myth that because your prices are moderated, you're not going to make more money. You actually make more money than other photographers that have higher prices, just because you're looking for volume. And that's another class.
Yeah. But yeah, if you market well, you got that artistic touch. Yeah, I think you could definitely. I think we're living proof. We're I'd like to think two professionals that are living off of it, and everybody's like, "Oh, your eggs are in the same basket," but it's been working for us, and it's just it all
very
comes down to
consistent, though. We're
profitability.
very
Again,
consistent.
you gotta have that balance, and this is why I came on board, because if you at the end of the name of the game is be profitable, but it can be done. It can be done, and people are worried about social media and AI, and it's not. Use the tools. It's yeah.
For someone who doesn't have their own studio, what from this formula would you change or recommend to kind of pull it off?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times that is the big challenge, is that you don't have your own space. Where
That's a
you
great
rely on,
question.
Yeah.
Rental space, that, or if you're on location, then you're slave to weather conditions or not. Personally, I'm a natural light photographer, and
Right.
I love all of it, but there's always that chance, that risk that it's a bad day, they cancel so many people prepare, they do their hair, their makeup, that sort of thing. But that on the flip side, studio space, that's another overhead that you have in terms of trying to make sure that you get it booked, to kind of cover your costs. It's a little riskier in terms of how you execute.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry for the long-winded question, but
No.
what would you change, or what would you recommend to someone who doesn't have the luxury of having their own studio space to pull off?
In that case, you'd have to incorporate that into that cost. If you're natural light, yeah,
Well, no, I'm not saying I would do natural light for many sessions, but that was
Yeah.
something that I was
Yeah,
mentioning
you'd have to.
as a challenge if you were doing on location. I personally don't think doing a mini session on location is the ideal unless you're ready to take that chance.
Yeah.
So for someone who is going to be challenged with renting a studio space, or having those things as an expense already in the front end, rather than it's my studio.
Right.
Right.
Okay, then it's fine.
It's easier when you have a studio. However, I started without studio. And you know what I used to do? I would go to the park before and I would ask how much is to rent a shelter. So the shelter for the day was 100 and I don't know. You have to ask the park for permission if you're gonna have 190, let's just say. So I would put that in the cost. So I would have my shelter in there just in case that it was raining. I would move everything in and I would have, and then I would take my chances. I remember one time that we have to move all the furniture inside the shelter, but God was good to me. So everything cleared up and I was able to continue with my mini sessions. But that's something I would used to do. You could use locations that are completely free, or you could rent a location and then you're safe.
Yeah, you'd have to incorporate that into your cost. I mean, the good thing now I've noticed, a big trend now is a lot of people are doing a pop-up studio spaces, Mint Room, they're all over, Little River.
It's beautiful.
So there's, again,
Oh yeah, there's definitely lots of studio spaces, though, I guess, with respect to how to make it successful, what would you change from this one?
I would throw it into to your price.
Extra cost into
Yeah.
the cost.
Throw it into
I would
your
throw it
cost.
in, and obviously you're gonna have to bump up your price, which we've had, like that other photo we lit Little River Studio. That was obviously not at a 195, but I'd use that as part of my marketing. We're shooting at Mint Room. This is your great opportunity to come into Mint Room instead of coming in on your own and having to pay for a mini session. A lot of these guys rent for 3-hour minimums. Some people just want a 1-hour session or a half hour. I would flip that. I would try to say, here's your opportunity to come to Mint Room for 20 minutes, at a much lower cost. So you're trying a new venue. So, it's just like, obviously up your price because you don't want to cut into your profits. And then,
In those cases, do you use whatever sets they have, like,
Yes.
set up, or do you?
yeah, we've done both.
Time to actually do your own?
Well, it depends on. It depends. Yeah, we've done both.
We've done both. We've done where it's practically picture perfect. We've done the Little River one, the photo that we had there. We did bring some artificial trees and like a couple wrap boxes.
We did. We brought everything.
Yeah, because they provided a greenhouse, which that alone was beautiful. But
We rented Little River Studio twice already. But it wasn't the same location. So last year we did the greenhouse, which that's a great idea for the locals here in Miami to do. It's a beautiful. I'm not gonna do it this year, but if you guys want to, that's an amazing idea to do because the photos come out beautiful in there. You get the natural light in the back, the sunset coming. It's beautiful. Little River Studio. Lo cobran, sí. Pero he'll give you a price because you're getting for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So you could talk to him and tell him, look, I'm gonna rent a location for like 5 hours. And you tell them I sent you.
and like with Little River, for example, I think our sessions were on a Sunday. I don't think he had anything going. So you work a price with him, and he's like, all right, am I not gonna have anybody in here at all, or let me?
Do you know another idea that you could do? Oh, I don't know if you guys are into that. I've seen a lot. I don't really like it because I am more of a daytime photographer or natural light. But those pictures at night, they're beautiful, and you could do mini sessions at night, and that's a great. People are buying those too, and you go to Coral Gables with those lights in the back, and you get beautiful images there.
Yep.
They rent the studio.
There you-
ABC has 2 studios for rent. This big one, and they have a small one right behind us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So inquire here at the front and see how much they charge.
Yeah.
Because this is a possibility for you.
Yeah, there's options, but again, coming back to it, definitely incorporate that, and that'll go back in the blueprint to step 1 and 2 when you're planning that foundation. Figure out your location, shop around, see who gives you the best deal, what meets the vision, obviously, and divvy that up. Say, okay, they're charging me $400. If I want to do 12, let me divide that amongst these, and now I might have to bump up an extra $30 here, whatever. But yeah, it can be done. Yeah.
Many years ago, I did some work for a company out of California. They specialize in newborn babies. And then what they will do is 1 day a month, they will rent a room in a hotel. When I was on my tours,
Okay.
and we would turn it into a studio, and it was 8 hours for the
nice.
That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
No parents do things. And that's how we do it. 1 day a month.
Yeah,
It's called boudoir. Boudoir. How do you say?
yeah.
They do.
Boudoirs.
Well, we do that a lot for boudoirs. You rent a hotel and then you offer a mini session
For boudoir minis,
especially in February.
Yeah,
Actually, you do it in
Valentine's.
January.
Yeah, for the Valentine's Day, we've done both. We've done our family Valentine's, for kids, and then we've had the boudoirs, more intimate photos. And you could rent a nice hotel, a suite, get it, and divvy that cost up, and you got an amazing set.
We could, depending. Es que,
Yeah.
locally, no es que no quiera, I would love to. If I don't have any sessions, I could rent to our studio.
Yeah, the question was if we rent our studio. We do have a studio. We're out on Bird Road in 74th by Tropical Park, and it's definitely up. But like you say, fortunately, weekends are jam packed for us.
The time that I'm going to be able to rent my studio, our studio, it's not the time that you're gonna want to be shooting, because
Yeah.
it's gonna be at 5 o'clock. Unless you have a nighttime client, and then I'll tell you, hey, listen,
Yeah,
because Saturday we have, I don't know, 10,
No,
15
easily,
image photos
yeah.
sessions going on.
we can have 10 sessions going on Saturday easily. So.
La tuviera que ser día entre semana.
También. Yeah, claro que sí.
But yeah, so the action plan, kind of summarize everything we've been into. Try to choose 3 to 4. I say 4. Start with 4, 3 to 5. Ideally 1 per quarter. Keep your packages simple, but price for profit. Prop sets simple, reusable. Sometimes less is more. You don't want to cut into your profits. Market early, market smart. Social media. That's our best friend. Automate as much as you can. Bookings, emails, text reminders. It's going to be a big volume of work. Hopefully, that's what we're shooting for, big volume. So the more you can automate, the better.
Right.
For your session day, again, tight schedule, but keep your buffers. Your 10-minute cushions. Tell everybody to arrive 10 minutes early, or again, whatever buffer you have, try to match that early so that if things happen, you have little gaps to work with. And again, edit and deliver your galleries fast so you can upsell. And at the end of the day, build client loyalty. Hopefully, these are both. Hopefully, you're getting repeats and loyal clients, but hopefully you're opening the door to a bunch of new clients that, again, were on the fence and they can become part of your studio family now. So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So you start booking Christmas now,
Now,
but the mini session is gonna be in December.
November.
November.
We shoot. We start November.
You don't
So
want
you
to do
get like a 2 months before the mini session
to
Yeah.
book.
for marketing?
Yeah.
And we do that really because it gives us time to open up more dates. Because what we opened, hopefully, right. We might leave it at that, but at the trend we're going that we opened it today, and that's that we really haven't hit, like she said, we didn't really hit the marketing hard. We just put it on our page today and put link in bio, and it's moving. The second we throw a couple reels, we send out a couple email reminders. The second I go in there and say, hey, yesterday was a success, thank you, we got 5 spots open, they're gonna come in. So I like to go earlier so I have an opportunity to open more dates, where if you go too close to announce it, you're losing out on weekends and potential dates that you can, open up more.
The other question is in the social media, you go to a landing page or?
No, we don't do, everything's through our page. I've seen photographers that do it, a landing page where they go through a funnel. We don't. Everything is through,
You go directly to?
yeah, our Instagram has a link. You click there and then it opens up. Again, what we use is Acuity scheduling. And right now we're running 3 different sets. When you go in there, it'll show the 3 sets. So it'll show, retro, vintage, ugly sweater, red and green, or outdoor, or whatever. It'll be there. You click the one, shows the dates, time slots available. You book it, contract, everything, retainer, done.
Here's the way I try to do it, because that's usually my part. I see that my clientele usually during the year, and like I said, you see a community that you have, and then sometimes it's overwhelming because you have to cater, because you want your clients to come back. So you want to do something that your clients want. So sometimes, for example, and that's why sometimes we have so many different mini sessions, just because for Christmas, for example, we have 3 going on, but I'm gonna open another one because I have clients that they like everything very minimalistic, very white, They don't like the strong lines. They're very hip and they want that look. So I want to offer that too, because I don't want those clients to go to another photographer and they're falling in love because I'm